yes, in my homeland.
Fellow Ambazonians, my mommy, my papa, them, my brothers and sisters, my name is Minister Silva. I don't come today with a short information for give you now, but before I want to give this information, I want to salute all the restoration fighters for Ground Zero. I want to salute we refugees them from Nigeria and all over the world. I want also to salute our internally displaced citizens of Ambazonians, where them be scattered all over the world. And I want to salute the President, His Excellency Dr. Samuel Ikome Saku. I want to say if we don't follow the revolution, we could discover say a lot of things and don't go on. But wait till I come for talk today. And I say, mommy and papa them, brothers and sisters for Ambazonia, we get for stay focused. We not get for be distracted, because one thing where I don't discover for this revolution, I say each time where we be about for score a major goal, or where we be about, you know, for do something serious where it could take this revolution forward, the day would always come in with manipulation. And when the day will come in, it will always choose now people then we think that they don't stand very strong for this revolution. But if we look critically for history, we will discover say time where the day will be one attack Jesus, it not be used now a stranger, it be used now Judas Iscariot. The devil will always use people when they around you for attack you, because he no go miss his target. If the devil use a stranger, he go feel easily miss his target. So he go use person where they close to you, where he know you very well for attack you. Now why that way we not see a lot of people the way we feel say them stand with the interim government, they stand with the IG when are the governing, when are the government of the people, they don't turn head and they don't start the you know bring a lot of confusion. But the message why I bring them today, now say Ambazonians, when I get for be focused, mommy and papa them we get for be focused. We know what's the way they happen now for inside Ambazonia. La Republic, you know, with this that nonsense we then call and say AFCON. Now wait way it happen now, and we did do everything for CCMU. We stop these people, but some people they only try for bring that confusion where it go distract we, and that's why it don't always be for this revolution. But some talk they say the darkest hour is before dawn, where it means say each time where you don't near your breakthrough, now the time that with the devil they try for intensify attacks them against you. Now the time that we hear the break loose, the devil they try for bring, you know, all kind of distraction. But mommy and papa them, we no go agree me the nonsense say AFCON happen for inside Ambazonia. It don't already start, but with the talk say me mommy and papa them should on for house. Me all we picking them with brothers and sisters, me they should on for house. We know say La Republic that strategy don't always be. I say they go carry, you know, people from La Republic, you know, with big buses go fill up the stadiums them for inside Ambazonia for proof for the war say no war not there for inside Ambazonia. Say things and they fine. But we want promise we now, and all the Republic citizens say we don't position restoration forces all over Ambazonia. It no go easy. So we no want say me any Ambazonia be a casualty. We want say me una shoot down for house. Me una mommy and papa them una see am how way they don't scatter their terrorist military them all over Ambazonia. If all things be they fine, why they go scatter their military them? How they go scatter their military for all sides for inside southern zone for Ambazonia? If they say no war no there for Ambazonia, then they begin for bring in the countries that they can play and the visitors them freely. People they begin for move freely for go for that their AFCON and or what they call and say African Nations Cup freely go watch matches. But the fact that they don't scatter military for all sides, we don't see them where people that even talk. We don't hear people that even talk say they don't feel work freely for streets for inside southern zone, inside Victoria and inside Boya. Because military they inside quarter, then you want open your door safe, they push you for go inside. So we talk say me should done for house. Me no man even try for come out for outside for during this period, because it no go easy. It no go easy. We don't already position fighter them for all over inside Victoria and inside Boya. That their boss them where they carry their players them and carry people them for inside the Republic for camp for inside Ambazonia for camp pretend say, you know, this their AFCON or African Nations Cup they go on where it no go work. We na go hear the news, mommy and papa them. make una sit down for house, make una no talk say una no be here. We don tell una this war, you know, we don already dey win. Na why that way that the public go always do everything with the international partner dem for see say make dem prove a point say no war no dey for Ambazonia. But we don talk say this time around e no go easy. Or any player, any country wey don risk for send their players dem, or any people that don come as visitors dem, their life dey at risk. But we no want for hear say any Ambazonian na a casualty. Make una stay strong, mama and papa dem. We go fight, continue to fight this fight, and we go reach for Boya. The time no far again. God bless una, and God bless the people of Southern Cameroon and Ambazonia. Na me, Minister Silva.
Broadcasting Corporation, the voice of the voiceless, bringing the state of the struggle on your fingertips, unmasking the genocide in Ambazonia, reporting first-hand untold stories from Africa. Donate to ABC Amba TV today, the voice of Ambazonia. Internationalize the struggle and keep Ground Zero abreast. Cash App 240-486-8768. Hashtag $AmboABC. Zelle, donations at ambazoniafoundation.org. PayPal, support@abcambaf.com. Thank you. This is Ambazonia Broadcasting Corporation, the voice.
Good evening, Ambazonia. Welcome to this special broadcast that we will be having this evening. The President will be presenting to the nation his newly appointed vice. And stories are coming in from Ground Zero. We've received interesting videos, the resilience of the restoration forces, and many things happening. In spite, La Republique is determined to play an African military competition, first in history, where you have forces loyal to the government standing and protecting players aside. We're not against security, but whatever is happening right now is evidence of the fact that there is a fake of peace and there is war in Ambazonia. With me on the platform is Lady Casey and Paul Nilong. We'll be having some discussions, and on top of the hour, the President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia will come up live to present his Vice President. Lady Casey, Paul, good evening. Good evening, my brother and sister. You're welcome. Lady Casey and Paul, can you hear me?
Yeah, well, I'm getting you, but since Lady Casey has the same problem as
Lady Casey, I cannot tolerate this from you. It is unacceptable. And you are the first female Amazonian I know that can do production like this. So you should, my dear sister, be talking. So you may want to use the same route you used the last time to rectify the technical issues that you might be facing. Paul, I wanted to start talking real quickly because we do not have enough time. Now,
yeah.
Paul, you are directly involved with self-defense, and you have seen the images coming on the ground. Talk to the people, please.
Yeah, I want to begin by greeting televiewers of ABC Amber Television. I want to begin by greeting our valiant people in Ambazonia who are there sacrificing morning, afternoon, evening. I say hello to you all, and I tell you, keep the faith. Everything is well. Everything is on track. The interim government is stable, focused, and as usual, ready to deliver what is expected of her. I'll begin with with this point today, the brutal killing, the brutal assassination, the targeted assassination of a colonial senator, may he so rest in peace, Kemende Henry. He was shot yesterday. It was purely a targeted killing by La République military, disguised La République military. I think Michel Bientong, the whistleblower, the La République whistleblower, has already given the name of this of those commandos who carried out this assassination. For no reason will the Amazonian Restoration Forces target Senator Kimende Henry. For no reason. He was vibrant. He was a night male of La République. Night male. He was a total night male. La République, he gives them headache. And I even heard he was supposed to be the future president, bar president of La République. So you see that they have every reason to kill him. They have every reason. So on behalf of the Defense Department, as of now, I am extending my heartfelt condolences to the Kemendes family, and to say the Amazonian Restoration Forces have not and will never commit such. He was our father. He was vibrant. He has been a nightmare to La République. He was working for our advantage. He was working for our cause. So we have no reason. Restoration Forces have no reason, no single reason. So all finger points towards the direction of La République. He was their nightmare. So please, to the entire people of his constituency, we say accept our heartfelt condolences. I want to come to the events of today. Like I told you, Victoria, from Mutengene, right to the end of Victoria, to all of Manowo Bay and Mutengene Police College, they are all in Victoria. War is about strategy. And there are things I will not tell you people on the national television. It's about strategy. What you have seen today is what you are supposed to see. It's to tell the international community that all is not well. That is the welcome address. And it's to shame those who have been praying that nothing should happen. So that they will say, we said it. Dr. Sako cannot do anything. Dr. Sako cannot do anything. Shame unto you. I repeat, shame unto you. Who sit and pray.
Now, Paul, there are lots of concerns. Very soon we're going to have the images being shown so that we can appreciate the bravery of the boys. I understand there's been gunfire. I have been able to communicate with some of those in charge to see what can actually happen. And it would appear that many are coming up. We've seen the Master of Sokadev, Akwanga, after being silent for too long, sending out a post to say that we don't talk, we act, and we are yet to prove the validity of that statement. ADF, as usual, has some of the images with their logo claiming, taking responsibility. We have some activists also wanting the world to believe that these initiatives was realized by them. And as we speak right now, the interim government or the restoration forces loyal to the interim government are also taking responsibility. It's kind of complicating. It's a laudable effort, but it's complicating. It's so complicated. Our people are
Please.
confused.
No, please, let me
So
stop
that's
there.
What I get that so that you
There
can
is
speak.
no, there is no complication in anything. We have no other forces. We have just one force existing in FACO, the Ambazonian Restoration Force, code name FACO Action Forces. Code
Okay,
name
you're talking about
FACO Action.
five.
Yeah, so we have only those existing in FACO, and they are the
Yeah.
ones who have carried this attack. And
So
in
you're
the
saying
days
any
ahead,
other group is just an imposter or something?
please, they are impostors as usual. And I want to tell you that if nothing would have happened today, this same group would have been pointing that Sako is a bad leader. Even in
That's
his
supposed to
hometown,
failure.
nothing happened. He is a
Yeah, yeah.
failure. Even in his hometown, nothing happened. They played the match. I told you people on Monday that no matter what we do, the match will take place. They will play that match because
Yeah.
FIFA, we are not fighting this. It's not only against La Republic we are fighting this position. We are fighting FIFA. We are fighting CAF. We are fighting the African Union. We are fighting La Republique and France combined together for what you see in Victoria today to take place. But the message has been
And
passed.
interestingly, the stadium was empty.
No, as it was supposed to be empty. They had to import. We saw the supporters from Mali, the Malian supporters from Douala, they came in. I also got testimony from one of the French bloggers. He was live this evening and he was narrating a story that they gave 10,000 francs to some people in Douala to come into Ambazonia to watch the match. And unfortunately, one of these persons were his aunt. So when the aunt saw the images early that this morning, the aunt said, I'm not going, no. Not me crossing that bridge, I'm not going. So you see, the
Okay.
images this morning,
Now, Paul, this is
the
why.
images this morning,
Um,
read,
the media,
yes.
if our if we do not report this, mainstream media is waveringly telling the world what is happening. And what is the victory? I'm not sure if I'll have the time to ask the president some questions when he comes up. But what is the
No,
victory that we have attained with an empty stadium and then the boys shooting around the peripheral quarters
yes, as
away
of
from the
now,
stadium?
as of now, we got to a router, right? Router already reported rebels key Cameroon soldier in city hosting African Cup of Nations team. Then
Okay.
that is router. Yeah, we got another from Punch.
Yeah,
I
I've
hope
read
I
that.
yes, I think we got also from Punch. We got another from Punch. Two international agencies have already news agencies have already carried, and that is how it will go. That
But
is the
CAF
message.
and FIFA are silent. That is
No,
what is nauseating.
they because they are silent is because they are part of the plan. They don't want their own people to be afraid. How do you expect CAF, which is behind it, to come and tell you people to go on his website and say this is what happened? It will panic even the teams. It means the teams that are in FACO will be afraid automatically. That if CAF is sending out this message, it means they are afraid. So they are part of it.
Yeah.
And I see some other I don't know, they are no longer activists because they are doing disservice to the Amazonian people, so they don't qualify for me to address them activists. You did not go to where they ended in Boya, while the action was supposed to take place in Victoria. Please, you too as an activist can organize a team on the ground to go to Victoria. It's not only the interim government. If the interim government can sponsor, can send her soldiers to start from Boya, then you too can, if you think you can do better, has the interim government stopped you from doing better? The interim government has not stopped you. You too can organize your own boys on the ground and send them to Victoria. It's all about
I would like to
strategy.
know. I would like to know
It's all about
Lady
strategy.
Casey is if Lady Casey is connected, so that we can get her. I asked her and I want her to talk to us. Lady Casey, can you hear me? If you can hear me, talk please. Okay,
No.
while we are still working, connecting, go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, this thing is all about strategy. And we must confuse the enemy. We must confuse La Republic. We don't just come like that. They have more days and they don't know what they'll expect the next days. So I am advising the population of Fako, please,
Okay, I've been made to understand
please,
that Lady Casey, if she's there, just bring her on the screen.
please stay indoors when you know matches will be on a
Lady
particular any
Casey, would
day
you
that
want to
you hear
put
that.
your image on a landscape, please? Paul, just a moment. Do you want to put your device on a landscape so that we can have a better image of you? Yes, Paul, go ahead.
Yes. When you hear that there will be any match on any particular day, please avoid
Okay, Lady Casey, can you
the
speak so I can hear you? Hello? Hello, Lady Casey? Lady Casey, can you speak? Okay, go ahead, Paul.
please can we let's be sure. Interruption it disturbs the flow.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
So it's all about strategy. It's all about strategy, and it is not something that will come on the on air to talk about it. But at least they say give honor to whom honor is due. Please, if somebody does something, appreciate what that person has done. And if you think you can do better than that person, then you too can do it. This war is not only the interim government. If you want to claim that you will not appreciate the interim government, it's for you to fight too. So organize and do it. There is no
Yeah,
monopoly in
Paul,
talk. Yes.
I get what I get your ideology. I get exactly what you're trying to say. But then I would say that the interim government has got to take responsibility to. I'm not saying they're not doing so, but the interim government has got to take responsibility to galvanize and to fast forward initiatives. First of all, the interim government is supposed to lead initiatives, and
Can you can you can you tell me who is leading any initiative anywhere apart from the interim government?
I'm not contradicting that the interim government is not leading, but I'm saying that we it's good to give a challenge or to ask others, what are you doing? But it is even more important to challenge the interim government to do and to do even more.
Yes, I
Um,
should be able to get through now.
okay, that's better. I like that. Then let's have you. You
uh,
this is the last time we should have this. We don't need to have
I
this
have
from you,
changed.
Lady
See,
Casey.
I have changed like three different devices to actually get connected. So,
Okay.
please, and this Android generation, we are still catching up. Oh God, yeah, I'll be
You're a
listening to you
technician and
guys,
this
and I
should not
can
happen.
hear it.
Yeah, you're welcome, Lady Casey.
Thank you.
Tonight is a very special evening. We're getting good results from Ground Zero. Paul has been updating
Mhm.
us. I would say I have only details that come from people like Paul, from ground forces like Gabonese. I've discussed with Gabonese. Gabonese is a restoration fighter, lawyer to the interim government, and he has affirmed, he has just told me, I've just received his message. I hope you'll be able to call in a couple of minutes. He has assured me that the initiatives you're seeing on the ground are the restoration forces. So that you can take to the bank and know that if I would have to quote his words, he says that ADF fighters. I just want to read exactly what Gabonais wrote, and it says ADF. It says the action is carried out by the, yeah, and then he says that ADF. It says RFEs are always in action. It says ADF gangs are gangs of criminals. Those are the words
Can
of
can can can
Gabonese.
you
Yes,
call him if he,
from the
can you call him if he's online now to talk to the Ambazonia people?
Yes, I'm
yes,
going
why
to
you
do
are
that. You can also try. You can
yeah, why
try
you are
from your
trying to
end to
get
call Paul. Yes,
why
go
you're
ahead,
trying to
Lady
get to
Casey.
him why you're trying to get to him, can I just say something about the events of today and whether who is taking responsibility, claiming or not claiming?
Yes, go ahead, my dear,
Personally,
please.
yeah, personally think that the activity of today is for Ambazonia. And we by now we should know who is who in this struggle. We should know who is who in the fight. The
Yeah.
restoration forces, in FACO have shown an extraordinary level of bravery, given the density of La Republique invasive security forces that are in our territory, giving all of that threats, giving all the military have come that is there, they still show that their desire for a free Amazonia cannot be threatened by any military of La Republique,
Yeah.
by any security forces of La Republique. So this is the type of spirit I would encourage every Amazonia to have that resilience, that there is no distraction, there is no obstacle, despite everything that's happening on the media. They could also get upset. They can decide that, oh, I am very upset now. The president have not called to say hello to me today, so I'm not going to do anything about AFCOM. They can make any excuse for not taking action, but they say Ambazonia is the prize. Ambazonia is their focus. So they self motivate by the desire for a free homeland, and they went on giving the tough security that is down there, and they still make a statement. They still tell the world that we are in a state of war, despite all La Republique, sponsored La Republique France, AU, and all of those agents against Ambazonia's progress. They still stand strong, and that is how all of us should be. So as we celebrate and congratulate our restoration forces for what they are doing in Fako today, we should draw inspiration from their resilience. We should draw inspiration from their focus, from their effectiveness, from their priorities, to know that the result, what will benefit the greater good of the Amazonian liberation struggle, is what should be all of us our priority, despite who is saying what or not saying what. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lady Casey. You want to add something, please?
Yeah, I think Gabonese, unfortunately, he's not online at the moment. Yes, like I was saying, it's all about strategy. It's all about strategy. It's all about focus. It's all about doing the right thing at the right time. So, what you see today was doing the right thing at the right time. And what you will see subsequently will be very, very strategic. We hope our lines are clear, our passages are opened. Then, in the days ahead, you will hear another strike. It's very certain. I sent out a message today to FIFA and to CAF that they should take these teams out of Ambazonia because their securities are not guaranteed. Mali had to
Thank you very
stop
much.
their training. Mali had to stop their training today because of the clash. So I'm still advising. It's not too late for FIFA. It's not too late for CAF. Please remove these teams out of Ambazonia. Ambazonia is a war zone. Ambazonia is a war zone. Until we get our independence, will remain a war zone. Thank you very much, Tapadi.
For me, that what happened today in Victoria, very soon we'll watch some of the videos. What happened today in Victoria was a big victory. You understand? We saw a youthful generation that, like Casey said, is asserting their rights to exist. And the earlier the international community ceases from the evil conspiracy with French Cameroon, the better. I don't know how many lives they would want us to, or they would want to be wasted before they start doing what is right. Because this thing can end today. So if the images of what happened in Fako today, if those images are available, please, we want to enjoy them. And when we come back, we will have a lot of things to say. And I want to tell you, please tell somebody to tell me that we are live and very soon we'll be having the president. The president has indicated that he has many other very important announcements to make and some other strategic statements that will be needed for the nation at this time, not just to announce or present the vice president. So please tell somebody to tell somebody that we're live. I hope we will have the chance to take some questions from the president. But immediately after the president and vice president newly appointed will speak, Paul, Casey, and I will be here to make some analysis. We'll take your questions and suggestions, mostly questions and suggestions that will be sent to, or your proposals to the president. If the videos are available, please let's have them.
As you are here, today on number 12 of this month, continue work from Duna General Capo. As you are here, today on number 12 of this month, continue work from Duna General Capo. As you are here, number 12 of this month, continue work from Duna. As you are here, today on number 12 of this month, continue work from Duna.
Resilient behavior from
number 12 of this month.
the restoration forces. And like Paul Nilon was saying, it's quite strategic. We're looking
That is
for that.
that is not the video. I think we
Yeah, that video there is coming
from
from
Do.
Do.
That is another. Yeah,
Yeah, that video is coming from
There's
Do, and I think it's quite instrumental.
yeah. There's another
Yeah.
strategic, but let's focus on the Faco video at the for the moment. We focus on. If we cannot get the video, then maybe we proceed. We don't have much time.
Proceed.
I think in the next 20 minutes, the
Yeah.
president will be coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You see, what I want, particularly the youths who are watching us right now to recognize is the conduct of French Cameroon, the determination of French Cameroon, the billions they are spending to make sure that we as a people are defeated.
Mm-hmm.
Because FIFA is not silent by error. CAF is not silent by error. And that you will see a team boycotting training. CAF and FIFA are not making any statements. It's not by error. What do you have to say about that, Lady Casey?
Yes. You mentioned that the first of all for FIFA or CAF to have approved this tournament to hold in a nation in disarray, as we know, it's already telling, of their mindset of how they have regard our plight. It shows that they have no regard for our plight. And us understanding this, that's why the activities in FACO is so important. No matter how small, no matter, like, some people, I see some people on Facebook who doesn't understand the state of things on ground zero, are talking how it's not on target or stuff like that. No matter how small it is, it is a great, like you have stressed over time, great victory for us. So the choice of them to keep quiet is to communicate to us that we have to make our freedom quest our priority, that the destiny of our nation is in our hands. And that's why I said that the restoration fighters executing their actions on ground in Fako the past few days is to tell us that that is our priority, that no matter the obstacle, no matter how the challenges look, because we know the density of La Republic um, forces in our territory. Like Paul explained, that the whole of Mutengene Police School, the whole of all the military bases, both in the one in Boya and in Victoria, how they are all out on the streets because they understood that we are in a state of war. And because the Republic is bent on communicating that things are better, they are in control. So this victory for us is for us to build on it and strength, grow from this strength to strength. So we should not be bothered or worried about their silence or not making any statement. It shows that France is highly behind it, and we know France is naturally a corrupt, evil nation, that they have sponsored a lot of conflicts and disorder in Africa. So this should not, and it will not come to any surprise to us. So we should just be aware and conscious of the reality of our war and face it with our full chest.
Thank you very much, Paul. Paul,
Yeah.
yes, please.
Um, one, like I
Have you been
said,
able
in
to
the
get
days ahead,
what? Yeah.
like I said, in the days ahead, things will not be the way they are supposed to.
And
Things
sorry,
will not be.
Conrad Paul, before you come in. Sorry, Conrad Paul, before you continue, let me just say one more thing. Our people, I beg, if I will say the one for pigeon, our beg una. See, no matter how the military are on the street, it is not safe. You have to go out only on essential things. If you know essential, stay for your house. Stay for your house. We've seen that there's one man that was killed and he went to drop the child in school. Amazonia is not a
He
safe
was.
place.
He
It
was not.
doesn't
He was not
matter.
killed. Though he was wounded.
It,
I
it
think he was.
doesn't
He was.
matter. Mhm. It doesn't matter how things look. It is not secure. It is not safe. People should be mindful of the state of things because the kind of recklessness why they see our people, they behave like say nothing is happening. My people, the territory of Amazonia is not where you go and feel free. It's not where you do things anyhow. Every time you are moving, you have to be always be conscious of anything can happen. Even if nothing has happened for months, don't relax. Anything can happen at any time. Abekuna. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think what you have just said there, Lady Casey, is very important. Anything can happen anytime. The question where me I want to ask, I will talk for pigeon too, so that make people where they watch me understand. The question where I want to ask you, where you don't insist. Say people go Bakusang, they go boycott AFCON, and then you choose say you be Southern Cameroon, even if you really don't love the people where they believe say they get independence. You really be happy say some person, most of una be the born on a una the see that man wey call himself president and mostly almost 40 years don't they. That means say you know see you know nothing. Why you support to just boycott them? Just say if you not even support the struggle, even for your own life,
That is what I
okay,
say.
even for your life, Pobia get a picking the way they no go ever appear for limbe for watch match. Believe me, for your own life, you know boycott. So I don't know
I
if the
think.
video don't be. Yeah, go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, I think it's not. It's not. We don't need to belabor the Victoria. The Victoria issue, but we just have one thing one appeal that I have to make to the Ambazonian people, that continue to pray for the restoration forces. Please put them in your prayers that God will carry them out and bring them back successfully, because they need to do, I saw, I think on video today, we saw Grandpa of Bali announcing his presence in Victoria. So in the days ahead, Victoria is a battleground, it's a war zone. So please, mind the way you go out, be watchful. The moment you hear any sound, the sound of a gun, please, just either you go on the floor where you are, just go on the floor, because sometimes trying to run, you could be caught by a stray bullet. So anywhere you hear the sound of gun, please, you go down, you creep with your tummy, and you find the nearest safe environment. If it's a house or whatever, please, because Victoria is hot and it will be hot. That is one thing that we have to be sure. And any team that is training in Boya, please leave Boya. Boya is not safe. The Malian teams have just heard the sound of a gun today. La Republic Force will not be able to, because where La Republic Force is where we target. We don't target the Malian forces. We target the Malian players. We target the La Republic Forces, because they are genocider. Wherever we see them, we will want to put them down. 4 had already gone down today, and many more will go down before the so-called AFCON will leave Victoria.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much for that input there. And I would like to know if those videos are available. Let's watch them, please. If those videos are available, let's watch them, please.
I thought we said the um
Yes, I think the videos should be available by now.
Yes,
okay.
we have the grandpa. We have 2 grandpa. We have the grandpa of Ekona and the grandpa of Bali. So all of them are in Victoria. Take note.
Jesus. Malena.
Si Amba. Si Amba.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Voices in the bushes.
Voices in the bushes have come to dance.
Attends, tout le sang par le grand. Oh non, frère. Tout le sang par le grand.
Now, Paul, this is
Yeah.
this is really terrible. Look at this is a country that is saying that there is peace because the message French Cameroon wants to communicate to the world is that there is peace. After I would like us to play the video of the gunshots again. Now you see the gunshots a few meters away from the stadium, and look at is this a war Nations Cup? Somebody called it African War Nations Cup or something.
African
I think
Military
that's the
Nations
classification
Cup.
that I see.
It's African Military Nations Cup.
No, but it's actually an African Military Nations Cup. I'm talking this. It's better to call it war because there is a war. Because military can be like the military men are actually fighting in Nations Cup. So
Oh,
this is
we'll
quite
overcome.
interesting.
Yeah.
You know, when I watch this video, I am so when I see anybody making an excuse for why they are not giving their all in this picture, it baffles me.
Yes, I would like them to have the video back on us so that we can have a discussion. We can have a
Yeah.
discussion before the president comes up. Okay, we are receiving indication that um, the president will be available in a few minutes. So I'm asking Amazonians to continue inviting those who are watching on Facebook and on YouTube. I want them to continue. Please don't call me if you have something to say. Those who are watching, if you have something really important to say, type. And if you want to participate in the program, I will definitely call you to do so. Paul, you want to say something before the president comes? What are you anticipating? And now, this is something I want us to talk about. You've had those that are saying that AFCON is going on, and we are focused on appointments, or the president is focused on appointments, and so on and so forth. Is there any credence? Should we give any credence to such assertions? Lady Casey,
Or do
please.
you want to go first?
Please let Mama Tom the
Okay.
hot.
All right, go
Okay.
on, go on.
Okay, Paul,
Go,
Paul,
Rainbow, go
Paul, go
first.
ahead.
I'll come after you.
After 2021, the most successful year of this revolution, people still criticize the president. Is it now that they will appreciate him?
Ah,
It is not now. So it
this
is
food.
just it's a part of a diabolic plan that has been hashed, that has been hashing for more than how many months? How will I not know if it is years? The president is coming out today proud and head high
Hmm.
because his presence was announced in Boya this morning. We have just watched the videos. That was the presence of Dr. Samuel Komesako in Boya this morning. So he's coming out to announce his new vice president head high. So please, let all those who don't know what to say, who don't have anything to say, but they must speak. Please hold your peace. Accept that something has been done. It's not all about the vice president announcement. It's about the message that was passed from Boya today to CAF, to FIFA, to CAF, to African Union, and to the international community. That is what is important. A message was passed. There was an exchange of fire. There was a battle was fought today in Boya that left at least 4 military men from La République dead. The Punch newspaper confirmed 1, but our sources on the ground confirmed 4. So that is the message. Forget about the vice president's announcement today, but spread this message that a battle was fought today. We are in a war, but a battle was fought, and we'll give the name of that battle in some years to come, because each battle deserves a name. And this one, this morning, will be given a name. Thank you very much.
Oh, Report, thanks for keeping it brief this time. Yes, about all those comments and the president regarding the president's announcement today, I want to talk to us Amazonians, and I believe most of the people watching me are adults, and most of them have worked in a team one way or the other, whether it's in a school project or it's in a family planning, organized planning, born house, or you have worked as part of a team one way or the other in your life. Imagine the person coordinating this team. You have somebody who does the opposite of your directions or instructions every time, or they are doing what they are doing to discredit your effort. Are you going to work with that same person going forward? Let's say you are an event coordinator and you are trying to project an idea, because with events you have a vision in your head how you want the decorations to be, and then you have given somebody instruction, and last minute they do something that discredits your brand as a event planner or coordinator. So this is what it is. The struggle has to move on. If the president see that a team member is not playing as the team, as part of the vision and his leadership, of course he has a right at any given time, even if it's in the middle of shooting, to announce a replacement, because Amazonian were told when this person was put there, and at the same time they still have to be informed. It doesn't matter the heat of the moment. In war, they change general given the circumstances, or at the war front, given the fight. There are some generals, they go as like 5 in front of the war, but there are different battles that each general will lead depending on what is happening. So please, let's stop distracting ourselves with unnecessary things. This revolution is getting to its permanent side. Before, we have been through so many transitions. When we had to survive as a people, when we had to tell the world that Ambazonia is still together, when Siseko they were arrested, we had to form the government anyhow who was available, so we can move forward. At this point in time, it is not anyhow anybody available. It is those who are ready, who understand the complexities and they have the mindset of going forward, that will be chosen. At this point in time, it's not just anybody anyhow. We are on our side, that we are known that the interim government is there. We are now not trying to prove that we have a governing body. We now the world know. So as much as we are going forward, you have to show they have the skills, you respect order, you have the mind, the temperament. Very important to prosecute this world going forward, and you are able to understand the teamwork. That when there's an order, we respect it. Everybody play their part respectfully. Nobody is trying to play their part to prove that they are stronger than the other, their skills is better than the other person. No, 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 it's for Ambazonia. So when you have that, so if the president is rebuilding his team, he has all the rights, because the war must go on and the fight must
Now,
continue.
I like
So
your
everybody can.
Lady Casey. Lady Casey, I like your analogy. One thing that Amazonians would have to accept, that if we are building a nation of law, it is within the constitutional provision of the president to fire and to hire any cabinet member at any time.
Simple.
Now let us observe it from a common sense. I want to announce that Ambazonian Bobo is on the line. He wants to talk to the people in Fakwa and to talk to Ambazonian. So thank you, my brother, for being patient. Very soon you'll be talking. But let me give this common sense analogy. You are the coach of a team. You are the that your team is losing 80 minutes to the end of the match does not say that you cannot change. A smart coach
Absolutely.
is going to do a strategic replacement. If you have a player maybe that is having a hip in leg or something, you can change. So whoever is saying, I understand that in politics you just want to take a side, but this is not about politics. It's about the fact that the two most important offices in our government, or I would say the office of the president and his constitutional successor, must be in an environment of serenity. It
Paddy,
is
let
apologetic
me,
for anyone to think that if the
Paddy,
environment is not good enough, what are you
let
saying?
no, let,
Yeah,
let me
go
make
ahead.
a Paddy, let me make a correction there. Between these two people, we just have two things: trust, loyalty, and trust. The
Yeah.
two
Yeah,
things that exist between
they are
the
not
the
contesting. Yeah,
president and the vice president. I've
yeah,
been a leader for close to 20 years.
yeah.
The core value of these two people is loyalty and trust. How
Now,
does it
when
go?
you talk about loyalty, who is supposed to be loyal to who?
The president is supposed to trust his vice, and the vice is supposed to be loyal to the president. I want Why did I say that? Because when you are loyal to your president, it means you walk with his vision. You trust that whatever he does is carrying you to the right direction. And the moment you feel that you can no longer be loyal to him because maybe his vision is not the way, you don't see his vision as going to be successful or whatever, or you contradict his vision, the the most
Resign
important thing for you to do is to pick your pen, you
and
put down your
resign.
Resign.
resignation, and you hand it over to him.
Okay, we're going to continue
Because
with the discussion. Ambazonian
before,
Bobo is here. Ambazonian Bobo
okay,
is here. He wants to talk to the people. My brother, I salute.
I will have to pass a message for what people they will grab. I want to talk for the newsroom, and it just came from my mind. Like I'm told, I've been seeing on social media. I don't know how it will really sing to our people that they will not get information say, like complete threat on civilian attire.
Shift your mouth to your mic. Most of them you talk more. Yeah, you shift your mic a little bit. Your mouth away from.
Yeah, it be better now.
Okay, you get it
Be better now.
Yeah, so that it is threat of civilian attire. And when you see that they take this kind strategy, nobody has made through that will use civilians like their protective shield for you for hide inside civilians. Now why don't we emphasize for what people they will go and any Saudi Cameroon away by itself right now will go stay indoors. Stay for your family house. Don't go out throughout this period. This nonsense African nation called campus. Because when you go out there, like complete terrorist soldiers there, they will just be same like you, like civilians, and they will hide inside you. Our president is a big danger of our boys. Now when we discuss particularly like they say, make us feel like a heavy hand. We the try to help our boys them. We the walk in, you know that is gonna say, we the go join the go fight. No. But by staying home, we the stay for house. So everybody that is so sick, they live in our republic, terrorist soldiers out there on civilian way. They are going to go easily target them. So the threat our civilian population will perform for stay indoors. So that our boys will easily treat them out. Thank you, President. Hosta Badana Dabo. Dana Amaito wanna be here. Thank you,
Thank you very much, Amazonian Bobo. We believe say the people were there for Fako, Victoria,
Tengene, Ediki, Muya, we believe say order the watchway, when I get this council, now one very patriotic Amazonian activist, it talks say, intelligence report, the show say, French Cameroon army them, they don't enter in between with people. They play wayo we. The wayo that they play now say that they wear close way, they say they are close. But when you say that close, they don't hide chavam. Now that ray chaka, maybe na the real better stick. Maybe na that kind of one would use them for that place. They don't use the really one. And we, if you know wise, take to wise, you go only want to say, you go to maybe the meet up a kema for stupid mistake where you don't make them for waka around the place. So we take this opportunity for enforce for back now. Muna see reasons, muna check small sense. Check sense, like people will get sense. We will be people who get sense. Not act like that people where they come up on Yamande way, them train them differently. Say all which way they supposed to do. Now for drink mimbo, they get two things: mimbo, chop. When they don't take mimbo, chop, they just be crazy people. So the next year, with the talk say, even if you like football, you be even one just spy. We are corner eye. Even as you put your TV like Paul talk, put your TV on. Hear any sound, just go for your belly. Some talk they say now mommy them they talk over the grow. They say now baby grandma self. They say fly wait from plenty, go follow them enter for grave. I don't talk my own finish. Lady Casey, you want to talk something?
No, well, we don't talk mostly everything, especially the security. Thank Ambajonia Bobo for that very important one. Like I talk, I mentioned earlier, see me at the back where people them are back. See, Amazonia is in a state of war. No, there's no normality and things are not getting back to normal anytime soon. So we just get to remain in that mindset. Say we are living in a state of war. When we remember that mindset, we will take all the necessary security precautions because we don't see instances the way La Republic just kill people they for buy the gather the drink. We don't see play they kill people they pick where they go school. They just kill unnecessarily. So we just get for put our mind all the time. So we are in a state of war and we have an invader where it try to force itself on us. So for that reason, they are very brutal and ruthless, and they have no conscience. They have no regard for a Southern Cameroonian. So any Southern Cameroonian waiting say, you see the mingle with La Republic, it be free. You are joking. Wait until the time your time will reach where they will affect you. Then you go no say these people they don't get no regard for us. Someone no ever at any given point lost focus for the fact say Southern Cameroonians are in a state of survivor, are in a state of defending and claiming their territory. Thank you.
Yeah. Some video they will I would like make the play but before the one play caller you get now just 30 now so you don't insist I keep you. Maybe you get just 1 minute to talk something for Ambazonia people talk then we will talk before president come up. We'll get some video for sure. Go ahead. Thank you very much.
Who are present to do appointment where football they go on for football. But they want to election the football they go on. Why they criticize appointment where they want election? Now which one will take long time?
Okay, ma pick Gabonese call. Gabonese call. Yes. Yes. Hello?
For another question, it is.
Yes, Gabonese. You did live for ABC Amber TV. You want to talk quick, you get 30 minutes. More time we will receive president. You want just
30
salute
seconds.
people. 30 seconds.
Hmm?
Yeah, I want to salute all Ambassador people, salute all of them, salute President Sako and everybody. I just finished the rescue to the ARF. The Mountain Lion Brigade, we headed by Major General Saga Act, we heard by General Transporter and other commanders and all general we try to get the action for inside Buya, Victoria, etc. And we assure our people and say we stand for independent Cameroons, and as the days go ahead, we will make sure say they could prove ourselves because we are for ground zero for particular we more detailed before and stand for defend our interests. I will make sure say any ambassador when we do inside Victoria, Buya, and all those areas, we will always be safe and take safety measures that tell all of us that say don't talk say no man will take videos to fight that and then put on social media. Any student will catch you do that act, we will publish your comment.
Yeah, we see the video where una boys and take. We see governors. We don't see video where una take action. Okay, I know so you get good news. Sorry, sir, I won't cut you short. Give the good news so I know will very soon president will come up. Okay. Yeah, thank you very much, Governor, for that input there. Your internet not fine. I hope say we will arrange for better program another time, or if you could be available after president don't finish talk. We will feel handle some things. Okay, so another good news the way Gabonese don't just write me, say make I not announce some for now. So we will keep that one for now. It don't really tell me, give me very firm instruction. Say make we not announce some for now. Some video there's a video I want us to watch, and when we come back, we will most probably be transitioning into the state house to have the president talk to his people and make his presentation. If that video is available, let's watch it.
Okay, let's have a closer look at why security has been a key issue ahead of the tournament. Separatist groups have threatened violence if games go ahead in some southwestern cities, including Limbe, where group matches are scheduled to be played. They've claimed responsibility for an explosion that took place near the city centre there last week. Conflict broke out between English-speaking separatists and the government back in 2016. Armed groups accused the administration of discriminating against them. The fighting's killed at least 3,000 people and forced about 1 million from their homes. Rights groups say the competition should be called off because of the risk of violence against teams and fans. Let's bring in Eric Acha, who is the Executive Director of Africa Policy Forum at a UK-based think tank. He joins us live from London. Thanks for being on this News Hour, Eric. After everything we've just heard, do you think these events should go ahead?
Good morning, and thank you for having me. I think the answer to that question is categorically no, for many reasons. First of all, for FIFA and CAF to have actually allowed these events to carry on under the current circumstances is not only irresponsible, but it is something that is putting the lives of many, many, many at risk. It is the most irresponsible thing for them to have done, given that, as we all know, as you've mentioned, the part of the country has been in conflict, an armed conflict, that people get killed every day as we speak. It's not been long that 6 Cameroon government delegates were kidnapped by the independentist fighters in the southwest region, where Limbe, that will be hosting part of the AFCON, is based. As we speak, as of today, nobody knows the whereabouts of these delegates. The government is saying nothing. The government is unable to even protect its own citizens. So talk less of visitors and the tournament officials that will be visiting the region. The threat, the security threat, should not be overlooked. And the information and what the fighters are saying should be taken quite seriously, because people are getting killed. The military are getting killed, individuals are getting killed. In Boya, which is the headquarters of the Southwest region, there we had a young child, I think that was in October, was shot on her way to school by the gendarmes who have checkpoints on almost every junction within the city. So we do not understand how a tournament of this nature can hold successfully in a conflict zone like the Southern Cameroon. So we think it's an irresponsible act, and it shouldn't have been authorized in the first place.
That certainly is a horrific story that you just recalled. There would be some that would argue, though, that given this conflict, this is, I guess, a distraction. What would you say to them?
Absolutely, yes, I will agree with that. It's a pure distraction from the Cameroon government, because rather than focusing and supporting the initiatives, the international calls to resolve this conflict, they are going ahead to host a tournament to prove to the world that everything is fine in the region, when the reality is not the case. As we talk today, over 1 million people have been displaced from their homes in that region. About 40,000, if we are going with real figures, not what is being reported, over 40,000 have been killed. Hundreds of thousands have been pushed and sent across countries, maybe Nigeria and neighboring countries, as refugees. People are not in their homes. So they cannot be bringing a tournament of this nature into a region deep in conflict, planted in conflict, and with people scared of even moving out of their homes. So it is irresponsible. Now, the fact that the government themselves, they are not comfortable going out themselves to carry on their normal businesses. The mascot, which is the official, should we say, symbol of the tournament, goes around cities dressed in bulletproofs and surrounded by a host of military people protecting it. Now, how much or how many of such military people will be there to protect the thousands who will be visiting the city? The visitors, the fans, and the football officials that will be in those cities. How many of those militaries will be out there to protect them?
Well, we appreciate your perspective.
You are putting the lives of many people at risk. So
Thank you very much, Eric. I don't mean to interrupt you, but we do have to move on. Eric Acha, Executive Director of Africa Policy Forum, thank you for your perspectives on this news hour. Okay, let's have a...
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians. You're welcome back. We've received indications that in the next 5 minutes, the president will be transitioning into the State House to have a brief discussion with the president as he presents his vice. I am anticipating, and the suspense is high. I look forward to see how strategic the president could be and what could really be the choice, or what are some of the reasons. Who is he choosing? I have heard some suggesting that they would like the president to have a female vice president. Some are indifferent. Some would prefer a male. What do you think? I don't want to ask this question to Lady Casey. No, not you. Not you. Comrade Paul, what do you think?
It is left at the discretion of the president who he deems fit to work with. Like I said, it's all about trust and loyalty. I explain to you what I want, what I expect of you. I explain my vision, and you carry this vision. That is the vice president. You carry this vision. Of recent, we see the prime minister of Sudan resigned. There was a coup. Bashir was dismissed, and we saw an interim prime minister take over, and another coup took place, and he was locked up and released and reinstated. And I think after a week, he himself resigned because he saw he could not work with the vision of the current transitional president, the general. So that is all about it. Let the president get someone who is ready to be loyal to his vision. And when I use the word trust, it means the president has to entrust his vision to the vice president. That is what I meant when I said the president must trust and the vice
And to
president must
whom,
be loyal.
yes, and to whom
And
much
Pali,
is
I want to
given,
say something.
much is expected. Much is expected. Yes,
Yeah.
go ahead, please.
Yeah, it's not about, I'm expecting, like Comrade Paul said, what we are expecting of the president. Ambazonian, we have come a long way this time. And so for me, I will trust the president, because this time it's not about the heat of the moment or circumstances. He's going to choose somebody really that he can work with, somebody that he can entrust him with some responsibilities, and he knows that they will work in synchronicity. Not that this person is doing things left, this person is doing it right, and they start plotting. So, like from report said,
So you're
trust
saying that the
and loyalty,
president should choose someone that he can go to bed and
and trust the
and and
responsibility with that person,
and
and know
sleep
that
Yeah.
that person
at
will
peace,
deliver.
Yeah.
Yes, you know,
not
So
someone
and
that could be backstabbing.
now yeah, please, I also want I also want to make a little clarification. We had two
Mhm.
letters from the Restoration Council. The first letter that they wrote on the 30th of December came out with they made some recommendations.
oh
They
yeah,
made some recommendations.
come
And the
report, good
next
one.
letter, that came out, the first letter were recommendation. It means the
And the next
president could
letter,
take this recommendation as well as could
Mm-hmm.
reject this recommendation.
Mm.
So the next
yes.
letter that came gave the president an extension of 6 months along the line, because we don't have provisions of election in the constitution. And I come again to say, I wonder where in a revolution they conduct election. Well, that is a topic for another day. And along
Come
the line,
report.
he has to come out with a constituent assembly to set up the modalities for that. So it means between January and June, the president has the right to build a team that will realize what the information from the Restoration Council. The president has the right to
Yeah.
appoint. The president has the right to reshuffle his
Now,
entire cabinet.
come report. Very soon, in less than 90 seconds, we're going into the State House. The president is already waiting. Yeah, you want to make a comment, Lady Casey? You have 90 minutes.
Yes, let me
90
just
seconds.
say something quickly. It wouldn't be long. Come report talk about the recommendations. I've seen a lot of people going around saying the president is trying to change the constitution to remain in power. Like Come report said, there was no, anything specifying elections or terms of office. So people should stop twisting information. And this is a total distraction, because for anybody who wants to claim that the president's term of office is over and they are a cabinet member, they are not resigning to show the president an example, they themselves are capital hypocrites. So and the recommendation from Restoration Council is at the president's discretion to adhere to it or not. And he is doing what is best for him to be able to operate and serve Amazonia interests like he has always done. Thank you.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. You just sit down, get yourself water, tea, coffee, whatever. I will be transitioning right now into the State House to have a brief chat with the president as he presents to the nation of Amazonia his vice and to the international community.
Good evening once again and welcome. Thank you for being patient. Mr. President, your people, the peace believing, loving people, the brave peoples of Amazonia have been here for an hour, waiting, anticipating, predicting, and envisaging who you will be choosing as your vice president. Good evening, Mr. President, and welcome.
Uh, Good evening, Kometa Padi. Thank you for having me, and good evening, fellow Amazonians.
Okay, Mr. President, thank you very much for, I know you have been busy. You indicated earlier on from your eyes is evident that you have not slept for at least, I would say for over 2 days. You indicated earlier this morning that you've been consulting with the restoration forces on ground zero. Would you mind to give us a briefing on that before you can go into your discussion or presentation, please?
Yeah, first of all, fellow Amazonians, this is a great moment in our revolution. Early this morning, I was briefed by two of our finest major generals in Amazonia, General Sagat and Major General Sagat and Major General Transporter. They reassured me that the idea of a CAF or AFCON, whatever they call it, in Amazonia was indeed a mistake. It's either a mistake or a death trap by La Republique to kill our innocent people. And that what happened in Boya should be a warning. And it's unfortunate that maybe a civilian or two may have been involved as casualties. They were in the wrong place at the wrong time. And this blame should go to La Republique and the organizers of a AFCON turned military AFCON, where they are insisting on organizing games in the war front. And if the military remain a target and you spread the military all over the place, then you have just spread legitimate targets all over the place. And those who find themselves in between will be caught by stray bullets. That is exactly what any intelligent regime in the world and any intelligent organization, any organization that considers the value of lives will not go ahead to organize such a tournament, make the innocent civilians the target, the collateral damage in an event that's supposed to bring joy to the continent. So the blame squarely lies on their shoulders. I hope CAF should be blamed for every civilian and every innocent civilian who dies, who is killed by stray bullets. But I want to tell you that the days ahead, from the assurances I got from my generals, will be bloody, because by bringing La Republique and spreading them all over the place, their soldiers, they just gave us hundreds, if not thousands, of legitimate targets. And whoever is caught in between will be a collateral damage. That's the assurance I got from them. And I want to say that, Amazonia, let's come together and make sure that these baby killers don't walk into our country as they're doing Kali and raids all over the place. As I speak to you, they are arresting innocent people. Let us make sure that they don't do it anymore. They don't succeed. They don't succeed to humiliate us and trap our people to be killed just to have a tournament in Amazonia and tell lies to the international community that things are normal. There is no war in Amazonia. But the days ahead shall be bloody. I'm advising the population, please stay home. And all the hired crowds of people and the CPDM sycophants who will be paid to come and observe a match in order to give that false impression that the war is over or there is no war at all in Amazonia. I'm warning you, it is better for you to stay at home. Make sure that you stay home and reject any $500, $1,000 bill to go on a ticket to go and watch and to go and be a spectator for the cameras. That is a dangerous thing to do for you and your kids and your family. That was the assurance I got from my generals. That was the warning they asked me to pass across. And I am bringing that to us, to our people. I don't want any Amazonian to be hurt. But you know, he who brought the snake to the house is responsible for the deaths that will occur.
We have heard you with so much enthusiasm and faith. You've always been a man of faith, and that is what is quite encouraging as we speak right now. It's really inspiring. I would say on behalf of the peoples of Amazonia, I would like to tell you thank you for your resilience, for your selflessness. You look really, really tired. But then, Mr. President, I want to trouble you. I know you've indicated you don't have enough time, but I want to trouble you a little bit with some questions. I'm sure after you've done the presentation, you will not be able to take questions. I want to find out from you. You have indicated that you have a new vice president, and we'll be looking up to that in a couple of minutes. But then, what did you consider appointing a new vice president? What were some of the criteria you put in place to choose a new vice president? And if you don't mind, you would want to tell us why you thought a change was needed.
Number one, the revolution itself is an evolution. If you see the evolution of things, you know that change is constant in an evolving situation. And the challenges change as we evolve. And new challenges require new abilities and new energy, and also and as we go on, I want to say that there is a battle for every season. When I got here on the February the 4th, 2018, our peak battle was won against the external forces that were already celebrating our decapitation after they pulled the first one on our leadership. You can remember, they plunged us into a pit of despair. I remember they were already announcing the end of our endeavor. I had a vice president for that moment as we were digging ourselves out of that miry clay. Battles continue to emerge as we evolve. The next battles were meant to assert our legitimacy against a mutiny that we all know of by some who sought to divide us, to divide our baby. Today, contrary to what some prophets of doom will want us to believe, it is not the end of our rise, but the beginning of a new era. And we are gliding forward towards the end of this course. We have made huge progress this far, and every era in our struggle brings in peculiar leadership challenges. And I was looking for some leadership qualities that will complement my vision at this time for the finishing of this endeavor. We want to finish it sooner than later. I don't want to go into the negatives, but every challenge calls for new strategies. And my changes are basically for strategic reasons. It is time to lay also the foundation of the nation of our dream. And we have to find the right people who can work together, and there will be synergy and harmony to lay that foundation of the nation of our dream. We are not just liberating, but we are also going to be laying the foundation, because now is the end nearer than when we started. It is time to forge our goals, forge ahead with our goals, even against the wildest of winds, because some people might not be able to function because of adversity, because of pressure. It is time to brutally innovate, because we must accomplish Project Ambazonia no matter the adversity. So we need firmness, we need unapologetic patriotism, we need to constitute a team of finishers, and I need strategic thinkers and patriots who put the interests of Ambazonia above their personal interests. People who are willing to sacrifice their all to enable us to cross this finish line sooner than later. People who are honest, people who are sincere and trustworthy and dependable. People who mean what they say and say what they mean. Not people that I will be doubting what they really mean after hearing what they say. So at this time, I was looking for a servant. The book told us that the servant amongst you, the chiefest amongst you shall be the servant of all. And from that, I learned that if you want to choose true leaders, choose them from among servants. Don't choose them from among those who sit on the high place and desire glory and power and position. Choose them among the servants, because servants are people who will inspire others to serve, who will challenge others to serve. So I looked around for one. If there's any time we needed a servant, and servants is now. So that's what, in a nutshell, inspired me to make my choice for a replacement. And I hope that we will give him or her the chance to serve us, to help me serve you, do the job that have been cut out for me by Ambazonians at this hour.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. You just said something that reminded me of 2018. I remember 2018, I was basically serving at the level of the communications department. At the time, the media, I was a media director, connecting between the department and SCBC, and also created your page and doing a lot of things, working to write some articles and instructions you were giving me. I was not working in your office at the time. I remember that fateful day you called me. I was in Yaoundé, and you told me, Comreta, I want you to work in my office as the director of strategy. And I was shocked. And you went further to say something that's similar to what you said today. You said, and because I was wondering, you noticed I was wondering why would you would choose me. At that time, I was a school dropout, and you told me I choose servants from workers. I was inspired. I never ever thought that what I was doing could be so remarkable or could be so noticed by someone of a high wisdom like you. And I must say this, I'm saying this for the second time on air. You're not just a leader to me, you're more of a mentor. Serving under you over the years has been a school for me. I learn a lot. If there are some things I've been able to learn from you, is the need to be patient, to be tolerant. Your patience is alarming. Now you have been able to give to us some things which I would say that kind of describe the he or she that you have chosen and you'll be presenting in a moment.
but then I want you to enforce on it. Comrade Paul Nilong earlier on was talking on something really vital. He mentioned something about trust. Even though I want you to comment on trust, I'd like you to tell us again, are you sure that your vision at this critical time of war will get to the apex of realization with this person you have chosen?
If there's anything we have done since we came here, it has been a constant progression, not regression. No one can look at us in the eye and tell us from the day you took this office, the struggle has regressed. No, even our enemies will give a nod to that. It is constant progression. And I believe that we are only going to progress. We are not going to regress. Why? Because we have passed the worst of times and we came out where we triumphantly. When we were just speaking, when we were using sticks and stones, we were not crushed. We still had the people. We still had the strategy to survive and build on our strength and catch up with the enemy. And today we can match them toe to toe in many places. That means we are only going to go forward. We are only going to accelerate. I don't care what the devil says. We are going to accelerate. We are going to go further and we're going to go forward. We are going to go across the finish line. And I'm calling on all Ambazonians to help us, help the cabinet, help myself and the vice president standing close to me and assisting me to give us what we need, your support to help us finish this thing sooner than later. If you have your ears on the ground and you talk with those who are the leaders on the ground in the trenches, and you have conversations with them, you will know that the sooner we put everything aside and finish this thing, the better for all of us, especially for those who are paying the supreme price. So I believe that anyone who has borne the scars of this struggle, who has experienced the woes of this war and see the need for us to finish it sooner than later, standing by my side, bearing the same burden and doing the same work, I am sure that it will help us accelerate faster. And it will deliver us from the distractions within and distractions without. So that is my and one thing we need is trust. And if there is no trust between the closest collaborators, a lot of things will not be done. I want to have a cabinet where if you tell me come, I will come. If you tell me it is okay, I can look at you in your face and say, all right, that's okay, I can go to bed now. I shouldn't be doubting if that okay is true, is so or not. And if I send you somewhere, I won't be questioning what you will be representing or who you'll be representing when you get there. When we have this assurance within us, within the team that should deliver, we are going to experience maximum returns for every effort we make, for every sacrifice we make. We are going to avoid wastes of time, waste of energy. We will be focusing on what we need to do. And we need to make sure that within the house, we are speaking the same language. Of course, those outside may not speak the same language with us, but within the house, we should be able to speak the same language. That will help us to move forward in unison.
for that briefing. Without wasting so much time, I believe the people have waited enough. The floor is all yours to present your next vice president.
Yes, before I get there, permit me to venture a little in our conversation to the letter extending the presidential mandate by 6 months. I have sent it to the judiciary to look at it, sent to me by the Restoration Council. I want everybody to listen to me carefully. This is just simple logic. You don't need to be a legal scholar to make an evaluation of my statements. You cannot extend what does not exist. When we make mistakes, we should be honest to acknowledge the mistakes and correct them. As servants of the state, that is more honorable. You don't try to use the law to legalize illegality. If there is no term mandate, then what are you extending? How do you extend something that does not exist? If my logic is faulty, please can somebody help me here? There is no term mandate in the Constitution. Then suddenly the Restoration Council sits and say they are extending the mandate. What are they extending? You only extend something that exists. So you are providing an extension, but that thing does not exist. You try to manufacture one outside the Constitution. So you are extending illegality, because unless you want to say that what was pronounced was legal, therefore now is being extended. Are you kidding me? I say this because these are servants of state. And I don't see how this was able to escape their collective intelligence. How do you extend something that constitutionally is non-existent? Rather, if I were in that house as a Restoration Council member, I would have said, you know what? Considering the supremacy of the Constitution, we erred. So let us pass a resolution and annul the resolution that we passed, which was not right. Then pass another resolution asking the president to convene the Constituent Assembly, such as I have done concerning the ASSC2, so that the people will determine to be or not to be. I don't care what your reasons are. The Constitution is above all of us. If you have issues with it, you rightly so, you have the right. But let us start from where we're supposed to do it. Call for a Constituent Assembly to make that decision. Since you discovered that you erred, you made a mistake by making a resolution that was anti-constitutional, you have to acknowledge that. Not to try to use legality to build on illegality. No, that 6 months is their thing. And let me say this, that the resolutions of the Restoration Council and any other lawmaking body are internal memos. They are not the laws of the land. For any resolution or bill to become the law of the land, it must be passed, prepared by the executive, passed by the legislature, and given to the president, who signs it into law. Are we having another country here, or is it a country that is similar to none on earth that we want to build? I know some people will say I should not say, I should just go and stay quietly. But what you have published is out there. Amazonians are smart, they will read it and they begin to wonder what we are doing. That's my problem. So that is wrong. My only hope now is not the memo that is sent to me. My only hope now is what we will do, we the people will do at the ASSC. It's the people that will determine to be or not to be. Not a handful of anybody within the corridors of power. The Constitution is the collective will of the people. It is not the whims and caprices of a few people, whether in the corridors of power or not, who dictate what they want, whether the Constitution likes it or not. Does it make sense? Ambazonians, is that the Amazonia we want to build? That's a question. It's a good question. We can choose that. That's the Amazonia we want to be. Where any people can just sit together, 2 or 3 or 4 are gathered, they say what they want to say, despite the Constitution, and impose it on Ambazonians, and whether you like it or not, they extend it as they like. I did not intend to make that my focus because today I came to give us this news and to show us, to indicate to all that there is a going forward, there is a moving forward, and there's a way forward. My nominee is a servant leader I have had the privilege to work with closely. I've had the privilege to work with closely since 2018. He has served the interim government in various capacities since that time. He served as regional coordinator. He has served as director of communications at the Department of Self-Defense and Security. He has served as press secretary at the presidency and has also served as director of cabinet administration at the presidency. I believe in him. His name is Eric Ate. He is very likable and unassuming. He has proven to be a very reliable pillar in this revolution. He is ready to learn. At least that's what he told me. Since 2019, he has followed me in virtually all my tours and meetings throughout the counties and LGs, assisted me in addressing issues, and he has done so more than any in the presidency. I believe that he is one of the finest we have in the struggle, a good listener who speaks the breadth of truth, loyalty, and unparalleled dedication to this struggle. And the other day told me that it does not matter to him if some do-nothing bystanders call him a handclapper, provided he is doing his might to see Ambazonia free. Please give him the chance to help me in the work you have cut out for me. There's no time to waste. It is time to go to work. Our people are waiting for our actions, not our words, and certainly not our quarrels or political ping pong. So it is my pleasure to introduce to you my Vice President, Mr. Eric Ate from the great county of Mezam. And if you have supported me, also support him. If you see him, know that he came in my name. Thank you, Ambazonians. Give us a chance to finish the last leg of our race to Boya together. God bless our beautiful nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President, for honoring me with the burden to continue serving in your administration, this time as your Vice President. Believe me, when I got a call from you, the thought that came to mind was, why me? But again, I asked myself, if during the course of my service to Ambazonia, I have done everything in my power to serve my country and people so far, then why not? After consultation with those closest to me, I told you that I would be honored to be your Vice President. My fellow Ambazonians, during the course of the past few months, we have come to appreciate the political maturity of our fellow Ambazonians. We have all witnessed how some will scream at the top of their voices in belief of what they perceive as the truth as they say it. And I've also seen how others with an alternative idea have also stood their ground when it comes to what they also perceive to be the truth. That said, when one holds their individual views and believe that truth and reason is on their side, while others think otherwise within our society and revolutionary construct, only the Constitution, which is the highest law of our land, can rule on the constitutionality of the different held positions. Those of us who reside in all democratic societies will agree that if the thought of one person or group of persons arbitrarily replaces the Constitution, that society will fast become a failed society. If the Constitution of the United States and other Western democracies wasn't respected to the letter, then those who think a person of color should still be subjected to slavery and cruelty will have their way. But that is unacceptable because the Constitution is always there as a base law and logical guide that keeps reminding them that it is not so, at least not any longer. Fellow Ambazonians, my brothers and sisters, let's have the healthy debate without trampling on our Constitution. Remember that we still have a revolution to manage, and it is incumbent upon us, all of us, to make it work. Let's recalibrate and refocus our collective energy and continue to be the beacon of hope and support for our people on ground zero in our fight against a brutal occupation force. Let us as a people come together and, if need be, decide on the laws that govern us and which will also govern our posterity with the amendments that reflects the aspiration of all if necessary, and not the wish of one person or group of persons who believe they can arrogate to themselves the power to alter the Constitution of our country, to reflect what they want, even when it clearly states otherwise. Let us always remember that we as a people are the engine of our revolutionary train, and we must be the ones to decide together through healthy debate and inclusive consultation how we want to proceed as a people. Ambazonia belongs to us all. Again, Mr. President, thank you for the opportunity to serve in your administration as the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Lord, grant us the wisdom to stand our political ground while respecting the right of others to have an alternative idea without a willful desire to destroy each other, while trampling on our Constitution to do so. I can promise you, my fellow Ambazonians, as always, our doors will be open to you. My phone lines are also open to you. Let's together work towards a better Ambazonia. Thank you again, Mr. President, and God bless us all.
Praise the Son, our Savior, who granted us our freedom,
Thank you, Mr. President, for honoring me with the burden to continue serving in your administration, this time as your Vice President. Believe me, when I got a call from you, the thought that came to mind was, why me? But again, I asked myself, if during the course of my service to Ambazonia, I have done everything in my power to serve my country and people so far, then why not? After consultation with those closest to me, I told you that I would be honored to be your Vice President. My fellow Ambazonians, during the course of the past few months, we have come to appreciate the political maturity of our fellow Ambazonians. We have all witnessed how some will scream at the top of their voices in belief of what they perceive as the truth as they say it. And I've also seen how others with an alternative idea have also stood their ground when it comes to what they also perceive to be the truth. That said, when one holds their individual views and believe that truth and reason is on their side, while others think otherwise within our society and revolutionary construct, only the Constitution, which is the highest law of our land, can rule on the constitutionality of the different held positions. Those of us who reside in all democratic societies will agree that if the thought of one person or group of persons arbitrarily replaces the Constitution, that society will fast become a failed society. If the Constitution of the United States and other Western democracies wasn't respected to the letter, then those who think a person of color should still be subjected to slavery and cruelty will have their way. But that is unacceptable because the Constitution is always there as a base law and logical guide that keeps reminding them that it is not so, at least not any longer. Fellow Ambazonians, my brothers and sisters, let's have this healthy debate without trampling on our Constitution. Remember that we still have a revolution to manage, and it is incumbent upon us, all of us, to make it work. Let's recalibrate and refocus our collective energy and continue to be the beacon of hope and support for our people on ground zero in our fight against a brutal occupation force. Let us as a people come together and, if need be, decide on the laws that govern us and which will also govern our posterity with the amendments that reflects the aspiration of all if necessary, and not the wish of one person or group of persons who believe they can arrogate to themselves the power to alter the Constitution of our country to reflect what they want, even when it clearly states otherwise. Let us always remember that we as a people are the engine of our revolutionary train, and we must be the ones to decide together through healthy debate and inclusive consultation how we want to proceed as a people. Ambazonia belongs to us all. Again, Mr. President, thank you for the opportunity to serve in your administration as the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Lord, grant us the wisdom to stand our political ground while respecting the right of others to have an alternative idea without a willful desire to destroy each other, while trampling on our Constitution to do so. I can promise you, my fellow Ambazonians, as always, our doors will be open to you. My phone lines are also open to you. Let's together work towards a better Ambazonia. Thank you again, Mr. President, and God bless us all.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Amazonians. You just witnessed the great program and great statement, I would say, the maiden statement of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, Mr. Eric Ate. Paul, you want to say something, please? Just go ahead. There's so much to say, so much to draw from this choice of the president, and we have about 30 minutes to carry on this discussion. Your volume, Paul, I think you have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, sorry. Congratulations, Mr. Eric Ate, the newly appointed Vice President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. We stand with you, we stand by you, we stand for you, we stand together. Congratulations, sir. You are workable. That's all I can say. You are workable. But my message now go to the people of the Mezam County. It's this responsibility goes to the people of Mezam. It demands a lot. They say, to whom more is given, more is expected. So more is expected from the people of Mezam, not to let their son down, to help their son give more than what they can to the Ambazonian people. We know the role of Mezam County in this revolution. We know the position, the stake that they hold, that they carry. So this responsibility is not of Eric Ate, it's of first the Mezam people, then the Ambazonian people of the other 12 counties will support from under. But Mezam County carries the bull. So my special appeal first will go to the people of Mezam, to the five, I think the 5 or 6 LGAs in Mezam. Please, your son has been assigned to a very heavy task. It needs first your responsibility to hold him strong and tight, and then to carry the Ambazonian people to Boya. So I think, personally, I think Mr. Eric Ate is a square peg in a square hole. The choice, it could never be better. I think the president has made the right decision. A right decision for that office, a right decision for himself, and a right decision for the Ambazonia people. I think we wish Mr. Eric all the best. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. The spokesperson by interim, Barrister Fru, would like to talk to the people, and he has indicated that. So, as we speak, I'll be putting him on the line so he can talk to Ambazonians and give an insight. Good evening, Barrister Fru. You are live on ABC Amba TV.
Thank you very much. Mr. Pade, I'd like to congratulate you for a good show with the president. I am very delighted that the president has made a wonderful choice for a vice president. My brother from Mezam like me, and I must say that Eric Ate is very competent. He has given his all for this revolution.
We're having connection issues there. I hope that we will be able to reconnect with the spokesperson sooner than later.
Can you hear me?
I think I can hear you, but I would like you to get away from your set, please. Can you get away from your set? There is a background noise. There is a noise on your background. Do you want to reduce the volume?
Let me see.
Please.
Just give me a minute.
Yeah, we are listening, sir. That notwithstanding, that there's a lot of things. There's a video of Eric Ate. I hope we have that video. We're going to play it. We have about 30 minutes to be here. We'll be playing that video before we leave.
Yes, can I continue?
Yes, go ahead. Ambazonia is listening.
Yes, I am calling on all Ambazonians to give our president and our vice president all the support they need to pilot us to Boya. We are very excited with the appointment, and I think that we are on track. Whatever La Republic has planted inside our revolution, they have failed, or they have failed before even they started. I thank the president for a wise choice. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to ask you some questions before you leave, Barrister. So, with Barrister Fru, thank you for that correction. You have known Comrade Eric Ate for a while. How strategic do you think this choice will be when it comes to mobilizing, uniting, and enhancing the workforce for the interim government?
Yes, I think this appointment is very strategic. It's very strategic because Eric Ate has all the experience, both in ground zero. You cannot talk in Bui and call Eric Ate's name and they will not know. The work he has done in Bui, the work he has done in Tonga Manto, the work he has done in Wakutunja, the work he's doing in Meza, the work he's doing even in Pako, and Manu and all the other places. No, there's nobody in this revolution who does not know Eric Ate. He has been a He's very dedicated, and he has sacrificed a lot for the revolution. And he believes in this president, just like I do. All of us believe in the president, and we will make sure that this team that the president is trying to put together works together to get us to Boya.
Thank you very much. The president just reacted on something, and you're a legal mind. That is, I would say, mesmerizing. The document that came in from the Restoration Council, I believe you are aware of it. Do you think that, in spite of concerns from the Restoration Council, this move will help to seal or create some divide?
I don't know what you're talking about, because there is no mandate of anybody created by this interim constitution. You cannot prolong or extend what does not exist, like the president said. There is no mandate of the president inscribed in the interim constitution. This interim constitution, like I said before, Paddy, you know my position. The legislative intent not to have any elections till we get to Boya. It is a revolutionary document. It is meant to pilot and guide this struggle till we get to Boya. Any election, if there was anyone provided, would have meant taking our eyes away from the fight and then fighting in an electoral process. No, there is no such thing as a mandate for the president or mandate for anybody. So the Restoration Council, I don't believe that the Restoration is a decision of Mr. Pometa and his surrogate and his clique. I don't know where he come. I don't know whether he even reads. I'm very sorry to say that, because if he reads, he would have read this constitution to know, as the chairman of the Restoration Council, he should have had this constitution on his fingertips. But no, he doesn't. So there is nothing like extending a mandate that does not exist. That letter is dead on arrival.
Okay, thank you very much. You just mentioned something there, and I want to ask you the last question. We are having those who now want to push the agenda for an election, and the constitution is seemingly a blockade. We have them now pressing on an amendment. Now, you may want to comment on that, but my objective is to find out what is the technicality of this move. What will be the impact if peradventure we start talking about elections in this struggle?
Like I said, buddy, this constitution can only be amended by those who brought it into being. That is the general Amazonian public, the supreme organ of Amazonia. And the president is organizing the All Strategic Stakeholders Conference in Washington from the 10th to the 13th. If that conference decides to amend this constitution, they must first do one thing. They must first incorporate an amendment clause in the constitution, because this constitution does not foresee any amendment. They must put an amendment clause and then go on to debate on the changes or the amendment they want to do on the constitution. And I will tell you, it's not an easy task. It will take at least, I don't know whether they can do that in one conference. That will be the decision of the stakeholders conference in March 2022. So all this noise, it will take us nowhere.
Now, Barrister Fru, the question, what I want you to answer is this: what are the technicalities involved? What will be the advantages or disadvantages if peradventure we find ourselves in a struggle where you have to have a partisan struggle, where you have to have campaigns for the office of the president. How do you foresee such an environment to be?
I will give you first my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Then I will give you the legal opinion.
Okay.
My personal opinion is that this constitution should not be touched till we get to Boya. Now, because any election in a revolution, in a fight for freedom, in a fight like ours, is a huge distraction from what we have on the ground, from the war. That is my personal opinion. Now, the legal opinion, yes, if the conference in DC decide to amend this constitution, they must first debate and vote and institute an amendment clause in this constitution. Otherwise, even that conference cannot amend it without an amendment clause.
Okay, so you're saying that it is a process. Thank you, Barrister Fru, for that time. I'm going to have some other members of government and legal minds to contribute within these few minutes we have to talk on the new appointment. Thank you for your selflessness. You have said two things that are interesting. An amendment clause has to be introduced into the Constitution, which is a whole process, and you think it might be some form of distraction. Others really don't see it that way. And also, then the amendable will have to also take another process. And the question that some would want to ask is, what is the need? Is that what we need to amend at this time? That is a question that you and I, Amazonians, the youths, and every people will have to ask.
That's why I first gave you my personal opinion and I gave you the legal opinion.
Thank you, sir. Let me take someone else to make a contribution.
Thank you.
Okay, fellow Amazonians, you are there. We really do not have enough time. We may take just a few individuals to make some calls. We have some cabinet members wanting to make contribution, and we'll be giving them the opportunity to do so. The Director of Resource Mobilization, Comrade, I would say Nijo, is here to talk to us. Nijo, good evening.
Good day, comrade.
You're live on ABC Amba TV.
Thank you for the opportunity. Comrade Paul and your entire team at KC. Buddy, excuse me if I sound emotional, but I have a strange feeling this evening, and I thought I'd share with you. When I last came onto your show, I spoke about education and how things have turned to look like dedication of your panel today. I have this feeling from Amazonians to share with me. I have a feeling, I can feel that we are real from this moment going forward. And I can sense that women of Comrade Eric Ate as the new Vice President of the Federal Republic of Amazonia, this journey has been cut down by half the time that we were due to arrive for you. And I thought I'd share this with your panel and your listeners this evening. And please permit me, on behalf of the Resource Mobilization of the Federal Republic of Amazonia, we want to extend our hearty congratulations to our new Vice President, Comrade Eric Ate. Congratulations, Mr. Vice President. And of course, all the thanks to our Commander-in-Chief for giving him the opportunity and for building such a strong pillar around him. Again, congratulations to both of them. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm happy to take any question. Comrade Paul, congratulations. Lady Casey, congratulations. Comrade Paddy, you're doing a wonderful job. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amazonia.
Okay, just before you leave, I would want you to take a question, And just to say that Lady Casey, I think she has rushed for work. She just left, but I'm sure she'll be watching this program now and receiving your delightful appreciation for her comeback. Yes,
She is one of the missing jigsaws in our struggle. And if I have any pride of everybody for your productions, it's for listening to my plea, my cry when I came up and told Amazonians that that was one of the victims of what Comrade Ma Irene was suffering after a certain gentle Mr. Nacho. And I'm glad that we're going to have all of them back and doing great jobs for Amazonia to get us where as soon as possible. Thank you.
I think your joy this evening is the joy of hundreds, I would say thousands of Amazonians home and abroad that keep calling when they saw her the first time on Monday, and today they keep calling with that excitement. And now let's get into something real serious. You have been with resource mobilization for quite a while, and I would say that you've worked with Comrade Eric Ate. Now, to be specific, how instrumental do you think that the elevation of Comrade Eric Ate into the office of the Vice President will facilitate your task?
Right. You're in the presidency, you know, I've always referred to him as my team leader. Comrade Ate, I think is a wonderful, wonderful team player. We're going to have a void in the presidency to fill the shoes he's going to leave. I'm going to hopefully still be in the cabinet and hopefully get someone else to give me all the support that he has given all along all the years. And if I'm feeling any comfortable doing what I'm doing, it's thanks to Comrade Eric. He sets the links weeks ahead of time. He reminds me of all the duties that we're supposed to do. He reminds me of meetings. He's always there to support me. You remember when we started this struggle, in-house struggle, with draft not being draft and cabinet members struggling not to support the president, you could follow our propositions. So that is a little regret on my part as a resource mobilizer. But as an Ambazonian and for the opportunity that Comrade Eric has got or has been given to serve Ambazonia, I could tell Ambazonians they could not have asked for a better vice president at this moment in time. You look at his records, his draft records for 2020, excellent. I don't want to exaggerate, but there is no Amazonian who drafted as much as Comrade Eric Ate drafted 2020. There's no Amazonian who drafted and paid as much as Comrade Eric Ate in 2021. We've got the records. There are counties that he supported more than $2,000. There are counties that he supported 1,000. There are counties that for every presidential basket, he did not put less than $500. I mean, the records are there. Any Amazonian who wants to query me, ask for the records and I'll send them to you.
No, Nijo, I'm not cutting you short. Nijo, I'm not cutting you short. You just said some things which I want you to articulate them again. You're saying that in 2022 draft, Comrade Eric Ate was the highest sponsor of government initiative. In that there were counties he gave 2,000, some 1,000, and drafted in almost at least every county.
No, please get the records clear.
Yeah.
2020, 2021.
Yeah.
He drafted for all the counties. And for most of the counties were $2,000 per county. I have been thinking of the federal capital. We are thinking, hopefully, I didn't check my records, but I think my youth, well, and from Mesa, county, he supports the president. He drafts for his LGA, he supports the county. We records coverage, buddy. And when it comes to resource mobilization, I think Amazonians can be very proud
of Eric Ate. Thank you very much. I'll leave you now so I can get some others You have sent something very instrumental, Nijo, and scripture. I'm a Christian, so I will always quote some scriptures to you. Scripture says that the giving of a man can tell you where his heart desire is. And if a man will give so lavishly in thousands of dollars and feature as the highest donor in a particular year of a nation, it tells you that this is not just another charlatan. This is not just another person seeking for power. This is not just someone who wants to control. This is someone who has a heart in the struggle, who is not just out there with lip service, but someone who wants the nation to be free, and he is willing to stake his might so that we can have our freedom. Thank you, Nijo, for that contribution. I'll be taking some others. Amazonians, you are sure that you have a vice president who is not only a technocrat when it comes to politics, he is also a financier of the government. He is a donor. He's selfless. I've worked with Eric Ate. I can also tell you, the president has, I would say, has amazed me with his wisdom and choice. I am excited, like you are excited. Every Ambazonia is excited. I was reading through the comment section. When his name was announced, everybody was excited. Ambazonians are jubilating and dancing home and abroad. Our restoration forces who know him in Bowie, in Meme, whatever, wherever you highlighted, are jubilating because they understand that a man is at the helm, a man who understands their plight, a man who is ready to take responsibility and to enhance the changes. Right now, I want to have others that are willing to talk. Pastor Victor has indicated that he has an input to make. I hope I'll be able to reach him on the call. Amazonians, this evening, I will not be taking your calls, but then just allow members of government to chip in their contributions as to, or to say a word as to what they would like to say this evening. Comrade Paul, you have heard of the input of you. In fact, you know Ate, you know Mr. Ate,
Yeah, yeah.
and you come.
I think I've worked with him a lot,
Pastor Victor,
especially.
please, just a moment.
Yeah,
Pastor Victor, okay, okay. Comrade Paul,
yeah.
go ahead.
I said I'd worked with him a lot on crisis management. We had on so many issues on communication. I think during the first draft, the first day I heard his voice, I said, "Wow, Pa, please, before each draft, you make a good audio and let me share it out." And I think that is when that powerful, when I heard the powerful voice, the deep man voice, not this our voice, that I think I fell in love with that voice, and it did create impact during the first draft. I think the 20, yeah, 20, I think the 2019 draft, something like that. Please, your voice, I'm getting that echo from you there. Yeah,
That's
please,
okay. I
can
can
you?
take care of that. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, so I think without much to say, uh, I wish him all the best. I wish him. He's just like I said, a square peg in a square hole. I think all we
Yeah.
need to do is give him support for him to succeed in this mission.
Yes, Comrade Eric is a square peg in a square hole. Bazonians watching home and abroad. I will be taking not more than 5 calls, and we will be closing the program within the next 20 minutes. So there is something else which is happening right now, and we have just been hinted that there are insinuations. Okay, our people are calling. Yes. Hello, comrade. Please, comrade, you get out of your get out get out from your screen, please. Thank you.
Yes, I just did.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Comrade Baye, this is Wilson, the defense chair for Mezam.
Okay.
I know it's a lot of responsibility that the president has put on Comrade Ake, who comes from Mezam.
Yeah.
And defense chair for Mezam, we have been working with him very closely.
Yeah.
And I think we will continue to do that. There was one thing when you were saying the accomplishment, what he has done. He created the House of Lords in Mezam.
Okay.
It was an alternative way to finance some of the things we had to do on ground zero.
Okay.
Because at some point, fellow Amazonians were like discouraged to contribute. There was a lot going on. And we needed to continue moving the things on the ground. And these were some of the bright ideas that he came out with.
Okay.
These contributions did not only support Mezam. The contributions from the House of Lords supported Ngwako Tunja when P. Marshall Nopiti was doing what he was doing in Ngwako Tunja. So I think it's going to be a long way. It's going to be something that we have to put our hands together and push the revolution forward.
Now,
I'm interested in seeing results.
Yeah.
I'm not the type that talks. I don't talk. I just want to see results.
I've heard that about you.
Yes, we will do all what we have to do to move the revolution forward. Thank you so much. And Comrade Ate, congratulations once more.
Yeah, thank you very much. So you are the defense chair. Amazonians, you are listening from the defense chair of Mezam, who is attesting to us that we have a square peg in a square hole. Do you want us to give us more explanation what the House of Lords is and how it operated or it's operating?
Yes, the House of Lords is free-born citizens of Mezam County. There is no restriction. Every Mezamite is free to belong. We do monthly contributions to support the struggle. We supported the struggle. It wasn't only in Mezam that the struggle had to be supported. Where we discovered that there were hotspots, we will push the support there. I'm defense chair of Mezam, but I didn't like, you have to give all the support to Mezam. Because I understood at some point in Mezam we were building capacity.
Yeah.
Building capacity, we didn't have the boys to operate on the ground.
Okay.
It was quite risky. There were some of them who were ready to operate, but we had to weigh the risk. It is not just sending boys to go operate in the war front without the means to operate. You have to give them the material. Of course, that is why we had the Farm 2 project.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why Mezam was so angry about what transpired about the Farm 2 project. But I am very happy that the leadership of the president declassified that project. We are able to talk to our people and to tell them directly what happened. And to hold all those responsible.
Yeah.
Because like you see, you can't buy a fowl in a cage. You cannot buy material that you don't see.
Yeah.
It is not about coming to the media and making so much noise that makes you a better person.
Yeah.
For somebody to come up and tell us that it was a scam. And this is the same person who brought the project to us. He comes up and tells us in the meeting that it was a scam. Then you begin to wonder their degree of judgment. Of course, we know the struggle. We don't pay anybody in this struggle. People come forward to save. We need everybody to save. So the president could not drive anybody out of the struggle. So long as you are willing to save, he was going to accept you. But there was some degree that we had to get clearance. It has been very difficult to get clearance of the appropriate people that could function in those higher level positions. Because you cannot be working in a government. You're supposed to be talking about the government. But then you are there in ABC.
Yeah.
You have your personal opinion. When you want to voice it, You say this is my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I'm broadcasting because of the nation. This is the position of the nation. This is the position of the government. But this is Paddy's position.
Yeah.
And these are the same things I do. This is my position. But because of Meza, this is what I do.
Yeah.
I have a spokesperson in Mesa. That is why I don't go to the press. Why do you have a spokesperson? The spokesperson is supposed to be the one to put out the message.
You just brought up chairman. You just brought up a very important clause, and I'm excited for us to elaborate a little bit of it. We at the level of ABC would like to get immediate information from you. So introduce your spokespersons to us and let us have consistent liaison so that we know exactly what is happening. And just to deviate from what is our discussion, there is AFCON ongoing. We need distractions everywhere. What is Mezam doing to enhance that?
We are working on it. There are projects on the ground. Definitely, we may be having some coming up this week. We just pray and hope they do materialize. You know, when you go out with projects, we are not there. We have our ARFs on the ground. And what I keep telling the ARFs is when you go out for a project, I don't only want you to accomplish that mission and you find yourself dead because we need you.
Yeah.
Amazon need you. You have to give me a way in and a way out.
For yourself.
If you feel the way out is not secure, do not execute the project. That is my watchword for them. So once they come out with a project, I just keep praying and waiting until the project is executed.
Thank you very much.
What's on that? I will just wait for them to do what they have to do.
Yeah, I'm very proud of you for that statement because you have certain Amazonians who are just desperate seeing results. They really don't think about the next minute. Now, you are assuring us that with what you know about Eric Ate, his choice, the president's choice, was timely and is sufficient for now.
Yes, I will say yes, because I remember last time when I spoke with him, he said, nobody wants to work for the government. Do you have people you can help us work with the government? I said, Mr. President, there are a lot of enablers. I am not going to propose anybody to you. Use your discretion, use the people around you, the people you trust, the people you've vetted, whom you think can do the job. It doesn't matter. You don't have to fill all the positions in cabinet. There are strategic positions that you have to fill. Fill those positions and get the work done. We are not going to give people to you to appoint because we don't trust people. I don't even trust myself. So how am I going to trust somebody else? We are in a revolution. At this point, there is something we will say. On ground zero, they kill people with the bullets. In the diaspora, what is going on in the diaspora? They are poisoning a lot of people in the diaspora. You hear people go home after attending a party and they collapse. Oh, you didn't know where it came from. Everybody who's involved in this trouble needs to be absolutely very careful. I will say this. Absolutely very careful. Because there is a lot going on.
Thank you for those encouraging words there, Chairman. I look forward to ensuring that we have better communication in the days ahead. And Amazonians, you are live with us as we are decoding and discussing what is happening. It's exciting. Many calls are coming in. Please be patient. I'll pick your call so that you can make your contribution. Just give a moment. So we're going to rebroadcast before we close the program. I think some of you came in late and didn't watch. We'll be rebroadcasting the speech of Eric Ate before we close the program. Yes, caller, you're live on ABC.
What's your contribution?
I'm so happy this evening for the choice our president made. He couldn't have done better. I would say that he could only choose someone whom he has seen vision to the struggle, someone who has been telling him, who has helped him to do what he is doing. The president only sees those that are working. I know a lot of people that are there criticizing, showing stones for no progress. I really appreciate what the decision the president took today. And I hope, I would say that my people bound because I was thinking of Secretary Ambrose that I know something is coming up for him because he is a man so full of ideas.
Yes, Pico bounced. So you are one of those students who don't study in class, and when it is time for exam, you start. I caught you today.
I would say about the same around, but I'm sure it's in the parallel. Yeah, because it's a mouthful of prophecy. I'm sure everybody knows it. And everyone is seeing what he is doing as well. And as compared to our VP, he's very honorable and not the, in fact, I never knew the other one though. I'm so happy today. Congratulations to our VP.
Okay, thank you very much for that input there. I want to pick up the other callers. Do you have anything you want to? What else you want to say?
No, I will allow other people to contribute as well.
Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Ambazonians, please do not call my direct line. I will be taking only 2 more calls. Don't call the direct line. I see someone calling my regular line. I'm not going to pick it. You can only speak to the nation if you have WhatsApp. If you don't, it's easy to download and make your contribution. Like I said, I'm not gonna pick the regular line. Stop calling, and you're insisting I will not pick it. I'm sorry. Okay, it is a wonderful night. Today's date, yes, caller, just be patient. Today's date is the 12th of January 2022, and we have, history has it that we have Mr. Eric Ate as the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia starting this day. Yes, caller, you're calling from Ground Zero. What's your contribution, please?
I'm calling from the United States.
Oh, sorry, from the United States. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I want to say this is a great day and extend my congratulations to the President and the Vice President. Eric Ate is a gentleman, a true gentleman, a man of integrity, a man we all respect. And I hope with his leadership, with his contribution, and with his commitment to this struggle, President Sako has done the right thing. And I want to congratulate all Ambazonians that have worked with him in dignity and in truth. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that input there. This might just be the last person I'll be taking. We may be closing our program in a few minutes, but then I will not want you to go back home without watching and enjoying something that is supposed to happen right now. I want you to sit back and watch the video, or the speech, should I say the maiden speech of Comrade Eric Ate. Just sit back and enjoy it as we rebroadcast it for you.
Thank you, Mr. President, for honoring me with the burden to continue serving in your administration, this time as your Vice President. Believe me, when I got a call from you, the thought that came to mind was, why me? But again, I asked myself, if during the course of my service to Ambazonia, I have done everything in my power to serve my country and people so far, then why not? After consultation with those closest to me, I told you that I would be honored to be your vice president. My fellow Ambazonians, during the course of the past few months, we have come to appreciate the political maturity of our fellow Ambazonians. We have all witnessed how some will scream at the top of their voices in belief of what they perceive as the truth as they say it. And I've also seen how others with an alternative idea have also stood their ground when it comes to what they also perceive to be the truth. That said, when one holds their individual views and believe that truth and reason is on their side, while others think otherwise within our society and revolutionary construct, only the Constitution, which is the highest law of our land, can rule on the constitutionality of the different held positions. Those of us who reside in all democratic societies will agree that if the thought of one person or group of persons arbitrarily replaces the Constitution, that society will fast become a failed society. If the Constitution of the United States and other Western democracies wasn't respected to the letter, then those who think a person of color should still be subjected to slavery and cruelty will have their way. But that is unacceptable because the Constitution is always there as a base law and logical guide that keeps reminding them that it is not so, at least not any longer. Fellow Ambazonians, my brothers and sisters, let's have the healthy debate without trampling on our Constitution. Remember that we still have a revolution to manage, and it is incumbent upon us, all of us, to make it work. Let's recalibrate and refocus our collective energy and continue to be the beacon of hope and support for our people on ground zero in our fight against a brutal occupation force. Let us as a people come together and, if need be, decide on the laws that govern us and which will also govern our posterity with the amendments that reflects the aspiration of all if necessary, and not the wish of one person or group of persons who believe they can arrogate to themselves the power to alter the Constitution of our country, to reflect what they want, even when it clearly states otherwise. Let us always remember that we as a people are the engine of our revolutionary train, and we must be the ones to decide together through healthy debate and inclusive consultation how we want to proceed as a people. Ambazonia belongs to us all. Again, Mr. President, thank you for the opportunity to serve in your administration as the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Lord, grant us the wisdom to stand our political ground while respecting the right of others to have an alternative idea without a willful desire to destroy each other, while trampling on our Constitution to do so. I can promise you, my fellow Ambazonians, as always, our doors will be open to you. My phone lines are also open to you. Let's together work towards a better Ambazonia. Thank you again, Mr. President, and God bless us all.
Ambazonians, welcome back. I just wanted some of you to enjoy that statement there. We're going to publish it via our YouTube channel and on Facebook, so you can download and share. He is always a person that delivers his statements in an educative manner, and like I said, he has always been very consistent. Eric Ate, maybe some of you never know him when he was press secretary, and he made very serious educative statements. There's a video I got from our archives. I would like you to just sit back and watch so that you can have an idea of how consistent. This video was produced sometime last year. You can have an idea of how consistent he has been with understanding precepts
and respecting them, and how loyal he has been towards this government. Watch. If the video is ready, please, can you play it?
The question, which has stirred controversy for a while within the fast evolving Amazonian struggle, the independence restoration movement, which for a very brief historic moment has experienced transformational and non-transformational leadership successively and simultaneously would be. Is Sisiko Julius Ayok-Tabe in the realms of African politics, heroism, freedom fighting and legendary leadership another Nelson Mandela?
Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela began his life herding sheep and cattle in the rolling hills of South Africa's Eastern Cape. In his autobiography, part of which was written secretly,
is
You're watching the People's Television, ABC Amber TV, the voice of Ambazonia. Stay tuned.
controversy for a while within the fast evolving Amazonian struggle, the independence restoration movement, which for a very brief historic moment has experienced transformational and non-transformational leadership successively and simultaneously would be. Is Sisiko Julius Ayok-Tabe in the realms of African politics, heroism, freedom fighting and legendary leadership another Nelson Mandela?
Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela began his life herding sheep and cattle in the rolling hills of South Africa's Eastern Cape. In his autobiography, part of which was written secretly while in prison, Mandela wrote, "I was not born with a hunger to be free. I was born free. Free in every way that I could know. Free to run in the fields near my mother's hut. Free to swim in the clear stream that ran through my village. Free to roast mealies under the stars and ride the broad backs of slow-moving bulls. It was only when I began to learn that my boyhood freedom was an illusion, when I discovered as a young man that my freedom had already been taken from me, that I began to hunger for it."
When I went to school, the lady teacher, Miss Mdingane, asked, "What is your name?" I told her my African name, Rolihlahla. She says, "No, I don't want that one. You must have a Christian name." So I say, "No, I don't have one." She says, from today, you are going to be Nelson."
So henceforth, he would be known to the world as Nelson Mandela. As the son of a chief, Nelson Mandela had access to the best education available to black people in South Africa at the time. Studying at Fort Hare University, where he first became involved in student protest, his refusal to accept injustice, unfairness, and inequality would last a lifetime. South Africa, 1941. In his early 20s, Nelson Mandela moved to Johannesburg, where he first encountered the racial discrimination that would later become entrenched in law by the apartheid government. Working on the mines and later as a clerk in a law firm, Mandela pursued his law studies and joined the African National Congress, the oldest black political organization in South Africa.
It was when I came into the African National Congress that I realized that Xhosas are only a part of the African people. That the task of the ANC was to unite the African people and out of them build a nation.
When it became clear that all means of peaceful negotiation had been exhausted, Mandela went underground to lead the armed struggle.
We have made it very clear in our policy that South Africa is a country of many races. There is room for all the various races in this country. There are many people who feel that it is useless and futile for us to continue talking peace and non-violence against a government whose reply is only savage attacks on an unarmed and defenseless people.
Key government installations were targeted for sabotage. Mandela became known as the Black Pimpernel. In 1962, Mandela was captured, charged with leaving the country illegally, and sentenced to imprisonment for 5 years. Shortly afterwards, his ANC comrades were captured with evidence which incriminated Mandela. He returned to court for the Rivonia trial, where he and 8 others faced a possible death penalty.
The very speech which was made by Nelson consolidated the spirit of the people outside, because it was a defiant spirit.
I have fought against white domination, and I have fought against black domination. I have cherished the idea of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunity. It is an ideal which I hope to live for and to achieve. But if needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die.
The Director of Cabinet at the Office of the President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, Eric Ate, with an understanding of the methods of historical inquiry, including how evidence is used rigorously to make historical claims and discern how and why contrasting arguments and interpretations of the past have been constructed, brings an assessment of the objective status of this particular instance of knowledge to be judged, not by some atemporal comparison with given facts, but by a historical investigation in the place of that instance of knowledge being considered.
The very speech which was made by Nelson consolidated the spirit of the people outside, because it was a defiant spirit.
I have fought against white domination, and I have fought against black domination. I have cherished the idea of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunity. It is an ideal which I hope to live for and to achieve. But if needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die.
People of Ambazonia, I hear people come up with this distortion of history that Mandela ruled from jail. I must say, it is laughable because in the first place, South African blacks were fighting for equal rights within their country, while the present-day Ambazonia is fighting for self-determination and to actualize its restored independence. Mandela was the president of the Youth League of the ANC when he was condemned to life imprisonment. He was not the president of the ANC. This fact should be noted. Oliver Tambo was the president of the ANC and was on exile in Britain. He led the struggle for over 20 years while Mandela could only speak to his wife through a hole in a caged glass cell for over 20 years. When Mandela became the symbol of resistance due to his long stay in prison, the world joined his people to protest for his release. You must know that Mandela earned the sympathy and respect of his people because he did not try to usurp power from the free South Africans fighting for him and his people. Mandela remained loved because he did not divide South Africans with the creation of another ANC in jail. Mandela did not send conflicting correspondences from his prison cell to the international community, countering what the free leadership of the ANC sent out. Mandela did not open himself to be used by those who wanted to cause confusion amongst his people by meeting with them, our enemies, La République, after the free leadership had already stood their ground in matters like ceasefire, which was being debated. After the Honorable Mandela had earned the love and admiration of his people, he continued being honorable with his actions. He told his jailers that only free men can negotiate. He asked them to leave the ban on the ANC so his president Oliver Tambo can come back home. He asked that Walter Sisulu, one of his very sick cellmates, and other prisoners be released so the negotiation goes on not with him as a prisoner, but with the ANC and Oliver Tambo, the free leader of black South Africans, at its helm. Oliver Tambo flew back to South Africa after more than 35 years in exile as the president of the ANC. He was received by Mandela himself at the airport. Mandela, who went to jail with the title of president of the Youth League of the ANC, had long been replaced by a number of successful people. Mandela was an ordinary man, but he was not without power. His behavior while in jail had earned him the respect of all black South Africans and sympathizers all over the world. Unlike what we see today in our struggle with our captured prisoners. Exile and a long fight for freedom had left Oliver Tambo fatigued, and because of that, an emergency meeting of the ANC was convened and Mandela was voted not as president of the ANC, but as vice president, so he could lead the ANC to negotiations with the white minority government of South Africa. They maintained the frail Oliver Tambo as president of the ANC when those negotiations began. That was Mandela for you, an honorable man who should never be compared to just any Jack or Jill. Oliver Tambo died from his illness and Mandela was elected president of the ANC. After negotiations and as per South Africa's constitution, since they have an executive parliamentary system, the leader of the party with the majority seats in parliament becomes president. The ANC won the elections and Mandela became president. These are the steps of a man, Mandela, who led his people honorably. This is a man who never betrayed his free leadership. This is a man who looked at the bigger picture with the freedom of his people always taking precedence over his self-glorification. This is a man, Mandela, who never abandoned his spirit of selflessness, unlike some Ambazonian prisoners, who have shamelessly encouraged other Ambazonians to torpedo the efforts of those who are bent on taking this fight to its logical end, which is the total freedom of our people and the total independence of Ambazonia. That's Mandela for you. The behavior of our brothers in jail has been detrimental to this revolution, and any true Ambazonian must ask them to stop their treacherous anti-revolutionary activities. The one other thing I want to say here is that if Sisiku claims he has his personal government and he has named his so-called vice president, why then did he not send those murderers from La Republique who pulled him out of his jail cell for talks to his so-called vice president who is a free man? What does that tell you? I think all these gymnastics is all about Sisiku doing everything to remain relevant. However, he must remember that he was respected and in a better position when the Restoration Council maintained him as president and Dr. Sako as acting president. But even that arrangement was not good enough for him. I'm quite certain he would rather be in the previous arrangement than the present one, in which he is fast becoming a traitor in the eyes of many Ambazonians. Mandela was loved not because he projected dominance, but because he inspired his people with his respect for the free leadership in their effort to free his people, his country. And he did everything not to split his people. The question is it about the people or about self? I believe it is about our collective freedom. No one person is bigger than this revolution. Ambazonia must and will be free, because this generation of Ambazonians will never let La Republique du Cameroon forcefully rule over us like they did our forefathers. I end by saying that we should stay the course, draft ourselves, remain vigilant, and apply Sisiku's words. Throw every traitor under the bus. Welcome those who openly repent, but always be aware of their past treacherous inclinations. I want to thank you for listening to this video. My name is Eric Ate. I am the Director of Cabinet at the Presidency of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. God bless you, and God bless Ambazonia.
You're watching the People's Television, ABC Amber TV, the voice of Ambazonia. Stay tuned.
Indeed, you have been watching the People's Television, ABC Amber TV. We the people. You were just enjoying some of the excerpts of Eric Ate's opus. That is a man that has been consistent. We've enjoyed this program, and as we get to the close of it, I want to thank every Ambazonian for their turnout. I want to thank all our restoration forces for their resilience. And I would say that be prudent, be safe, stay home in Victoria and in Fako, because the days ahead will surely be bloody. The president told us that today. I'm pleading with the studio that as I say goodbye and good night to our people in Mezam, our people in Manu, in Meme, let them play the speech of the Vice President Eric Ate this evening and conclude it with a national anthem. Thank you very much for our appointment this evening. I would say bye-bye and good night.
You're watching the People's Television, ABC Amber TV, the voice of Ambazonia. Stay tuned. You're watching the People's Television, ABC Amber TV, the voice of Ambazonia. Stay tuned.
Thank you, Mr. President, for honoring me with the burden to continue serving in your administration, this time as your Vice President. Believe me, when I got a call from you, the thought that came to mind was, why me? But again, I asked myself, if during the course of my service to Ambazonia, I have done everything in my power to serve my country and people so far, then why not? After consultation with those closest to me, I told you that I would be honored to be your Vice President. My fellow Ambazonians, during the course of the past few months, we have come to appreciate the political maturity of our fellow Ambazonians. We have all witnessed how some will scream at the top of their voices in belief of what they perceive as the truth as they say it. And I've also seen how others with an alternative idea have also stood their ground when it comes to what they also perceive to be the truth. That said, when one holds their individual views and believe that truth and reason is on their side, while others think otherwise within our society and revolutionary construct, only the Constitution, which is the highest law of our land, can rule on the constitutionality of the different held positions. Those of us who reside in all democratic societies will agree that if the thought of one person or group of persons arbitrarily replaces the Constitution, that society will fast become a failed society. If the Constitution of the United States and other Western democracies wasn't respected to the letter, then those who think a person of color should still be subjected to slavery and cruelty will have their way. But that is unacceptable because the Constitution is always there as a base law and logical guide that keeps reminding them that it is not so, at least not any longer. Fellow Ambazonians, my brothers and sisters, let's have the healthy debate without trampling on our Constitution. Remember that we still have a revolution to manage, and it is incumbent upon us, all of us, to make it work. Let's recalibrate and refocus our collective energy and continue to be the beacon of hope and support for our people on ground zero in our fight against a brutal occupation force. Let us as a people come together and, if need be, decide on the laws that govern us and which will also govern our posterity with the amendments that reflects the aspiration of all if necessary, and not the wish of one person or group of persons who believe they can arrogate to themselves the power to alter the Constitution of our country, to reflect what they want, even when it clearly states otherwise. Let us always remember that we as a people are the engine of our revolutionary train, and we must be the ones to decide together through healthy debate and inclusive consultation how we want to proceed as a people. Ambazonia belongs to us all. Again, Mr. President, thank you for the opportunity to serve in your administration as the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Lord, grant us the wisdom to stand our political ground while respecting the right of others to have an alternative idea without a willful desire to destroy each other, while trampling on our Constitution to do so. I can promise you, my fellow Ambazonians, as always, our doors will be open to you. My phone lines are also open to you. Let's together work towards a better Ambazonia. Thank you again, Mr. President, and God bless us all.